I had missed an IED and a couple of days later I then stood on it. So I'd already walked past it several times. I immediately lost my legs.
15 months after first picking up a paddle, sapper Curtis McGrath is already one of the world's best, charging towards next year's Rio Paralympics, a quest which began on the battlefields of Afghanistan, captured on his own helmet camera.
August 2012, I was a combat engineer in Afghanistan on a high-risk search team, so we're looking for IEDs on an unoccupied police checkpoint. And we'd been tasked to clear this checkpoint, and I had missed an IED, and a couple of days later I then stood on it. So I'd already walked past it several times, and at that initial point when it detonated, I immediately lost my legs and severely injured my left wrist and hand.
How soon after that happened did the Paralympics come into your mind, and when did the Paralympic dream begin?
At the time, in August 2012, obviously the London Olympics were on and the Paralympics were building up and everything, and I knew what had happened to me, and I knew the extent of my injuries, and so it was actually about 20 minutes after I said, you guys will see me in the Paralympics, and whilst I was getting carried on the stretcher, so it was sort of an initial thought, and it sort of stuck.
You gotta know, I'm feeling love, made it go.
Having that goal was definitely a driving force of, being stuck in hospital and not being able to go out and enjoy myself and even see if I could paddle again. And it was all down to rehabilitation in the hospital. I was doing 5 or 6 hours a day physio, so it was quite intense, but I knew the more I did in hospital, the less I would have to worry about the basics out of hospital, and that was the goal. Not necessarily the Paralympics, but the goal was to be, getting back to fitness and health that I had before.
Once the rehab was complete, the 26-year-old was eyeing off a sport that could take him to Rio.
I used to do whitewater kayaking in New Zealand when I was growing up and really loved it, and that's what I wanted to do. So I wanted to jump in over at the whitewater centre over there and have a go. But unfortunately the Paralympics don't include that for para-athletes. So I'm just like, well, what's the next best thing? And kayaking on the flat water sprint was it. So started going down that track and inquiring with coaches and support networks and everything, so it's been quite good.
The success came quickly for McGrath. In August, he won the World Championships in the VAR canoe 200 metres. But last month, the International Paralympic Committee scrapped that event from the program for Rio and replaced it with the kayak. So McGrath had to start from scratch again.
I think going through what I did last year, seeing that I'm not quite at the level yet, but there's still 5 months until World Championships, and that's a lot of time, and considering I've come this far in 5 weeks. So it's possible again, I've proven that you can do it.
And as the born and bred New Zealander edges closer to realising his Paralympic dream, he's proud to be doing it in the green and gold.
I've done it, on the battlefield, Anzacs all the way, and I feel greatly honoured to be able to represent Australia again on the sporting stage. And I don't think it matters which uniform you're doing, as long as you've got the support network and the friends and family that are around you that support that decision that you've made, and it's been great.